From Syria to Iraq and the unrest in Libya and Yemen, these conflicts have exposed new limitations of America's superior military might. And as John Jessup explains, with cuts in defense spending and personnel, the U.S. military is also losing another battle, maintaining its technological edge.
We're in a very dangerous place. We have a depleted military, totally depleted.
It's a popular line with the candidates on the campaign trail.
Number one, we'll rebuild the military.
We are at war with violent extremism.
We're going to build up our military, and we're going to get the equipment we want.
Often followed with applause and hearty cheers from the crowds.
What?
But the hard truth about America's military weaknesses is enough to sound the alarm for experts on defense.
Does this stuff keep you up at night?
It does keep me up, but more importantly, it keeps up Pentagon leadership at night.
Mackenzie Eaglin researches defense strategy for the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative Washington think tank. She believes the U.S. military has lost its fighting edge after the long and costly campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan.
And now here we are winding down from the wars of the last decade and finding that the rest of the world did not slow down. In fact, they're catching up or surpassing us. We're in a constant state of conflict and using our military at a rapid pace. So drawing down anymore is not an acceptable way to save money because you spend more to build back up.
The United States spends considerably more than any other country on defense, more than double the budget of China, which comes in at number 2. But since 2010, U.S. military spending has fallen by 20% due to deficit reduction. Meanwhile, China and Russia have been increasing their military spending, a cause of concern the Brookings Institute's Michael O'Hanlon voiced to CBN News in a previous interview.
But we also have to be a little bit nervous when their budget is growing 10 to 20 billion every year, and ours is coming down 20 to 30 billion every year.
Eaglin says China has a leading edge in next-generation space and missile technology, adding that it's developing hypersonic missiles that travel so fast, defending against them is nearly impossible. She also warns about a resurgent Cold War power.
If we're talking about electronic warfare, Russia is eating our lunch.
Eaglin points out Russia is far ahead in cyber warfare and that the U.S. military's research and development is now lagging far behind the private sector, while in the past, military R&D was used to start the commercial revolution within the American economy, giving the public the internet, GPS, car phones, and more.
But everything from plastic bags to pantyhose are from the U.S. military or derivative from research and development. The federal government is no longer the driver in research and development in our U.S. economy. It is now led by the commercial sector. And the problem with that is, if the Defense Department wants access to it, everybody has access to it.
She says that means the military now has to learn from the business world and sometimes use products like tablet computers for airstrikes and Xbox controllers for drones. Even worse, Eaglin reports that in a series of 16 different war games by a former Pentagon planner to see whether the U.S. and NATO could defend the Baltic states against Russia, the U.S. lost every single one. What does this all mean for the United States military? Eaglin believes this lack of technological advantage will lead to failed missions, higher casualties, and longer wars. It's a gap she warns that the U.S. needs to start filling now before it's too late. John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.